Hello everyone. Today I will be talking about security and privacy in Jamf School. But first, a brief moment for you to review our forward-looking statement. It will also be available as a detailed review if you like under resources. A little bit about myself. I'm Mark Heijnen. I'm a senior software engineer at Jamf. I work full-time at Jamf for Jamf School, mostly on the back end, but also partly on our infrastructure to make it as secure towards our end customers and as stable, so it's always everywhere available as fast as we can deliver it. Today's agenda will be our current status, WWDC, and authentication platform. So first, we start with the current status. So we use MDM, Mobile Device Management. And there you have a differentiation between supervised, where we can do most of all the commands, and we can do quite a lot for our admins. And then you have user enrollment, where only a part of the device we can maintain, and we are only limited in what we can do with a device. So it's a little bit about the separation between a work device, so where the organization owns it, and where the user owns it, and having the separation between work data and personal data. And it's all about user privacy, where the separation comes in place. Like, we don't want to see the user data in our MDM, and that's also not what we can. What we can see is something like device name, a phone number, the model name, how much storage there is, what kind of iOS version, also what kind of apps are installed. What we cannot see is personal data, like your email, calendars, your SMS messages, your Safari browser history, your reminders, like some stats, which apps you use most frequent, but also we cannot see your location. We can only see your location when the device is in lost mode, and then we get it. Otherwise, yeah, we don't want to see that, and there's also no benefit for us to show that. Then we have the Jamf School management system, the things that we enrich the MDM with. First of all, we only store data that we actually use, and we only store it for the amount period that we need it. There's no reason why we will take that risk, and also we should take care of the privacy of the customers and the end user in particular. We can do this by having specific roles for users. So an admin can say which users has what kind of permission. So one user can only see the devices, maybe can do some updates, but is not able to wipe a device. And then we have the audit log. So since about a year, we have an audit log within Jamf School, so an admin can see who did what kind of action. So this helps to debug stuff and see and find reasoning why someone did a particular action. Also, to help out with privacy, we enriched the Apple School Manager with SFTP. So there you can anonymize users. So when you send users to Apple, because you want to use Apple, but you don't want to share personal student data, you're able to do that with a checkbox to say like, yeah, all the user data should be anonymized with a random ID, random name. So Apple, and especially your data in the US, has no relation to your student names or email addresses. So a little bit about WWDC. So now we have macOS 11, Big Sur, and iOS 14, iPadOS 14, and tvOS 14. First of all, at Jamf, we really value same-day support. It's not simply to offer a baseline compatibility. So yeah, we work with iOS 14 with macOS 11 Big Sur, but we also try to implement all the features and workflows that Apple has implemented within the new operation systems. So this way, admin can get access to the new management features, but also we keep up and making users productive, and we keep them being more productive with all the new tools that Apple gives you. It minimizes downtime, it increases your security, because when Apple will try to prevent vulnerabilities in the new operation systems, then we have the tools for you to make that happen. And in the end, it's all about keeping your end user productive and the admins as happy as we can with all the cool tools that Apple gives us. Then supervision has been changed. So when you make enrollment of a user-approved MDM, it will also be considered supervised. So it's not only with automatic device enrollment, so DEP, but it's with any enrollment that you will do. That will also mean that any enrollment you do, you can do something like activation logs, querying or deleting local users. You can replace or remove profiles. Now you can also install supervised restrictions and schedule software updates. So there's a lot of interesting things that you should consider when you do this workflow within your schools. Another cool feature within iOS 14 and macOS is that Apple enhanced their privacy and security by allowing a DNS payload. So this way you can make sure that DNS traffic is encrypted. Previously you would be able to use a VPN connection with it, but now there is support by Apple to deliver this. And you could basically implement something like Cloudflare where certain websites will be blocked through the DNS. And there's more. So with macOS, like iOS, iPadOS, the user needs to approve when a profile is getting installed. Also the same, it tries to prevent silent profile installation when it's done by the CLI, so the command line. And something also to consider is that Apple now also randomized their serial numbers. So before you were able to find some information through the serial numbers, but from now on or in the future, that will not be the case anymore. And last but not least, our new authentication platform. So we improved the login experience for admins. So every admin has now their real own account. Before, the school was still able to change some information. They will not be able anymore. So it's now your own account, includes two-factor authentication, and when the case that especially when you're focused on the US market, where you're in multiple schools, there is a chance that you also will be in multiple clusters. And now the accounts are being shared. And we have an opportunity to also do quick authentication with Microsoft and Google. So this is how the new login screen will look like. So on the moment, you will now go to Jamf School. You will be redirected when you're not logged in to this login screen. You're able to sign in. You're also able to log in with Google and Microsoft. And you still have your opportunity when you forgot your password to get it back. So when you're logged in, when you go to the authentication platform and you log in, you will see your profile. So you're able to change your name, your email address, your avatar. You can also have different kinds of authentication. So we have two-factor authentication by app, by SMS, and backup codes. Here you also see an auto log and your current sessions. So you can still see which sessions are active, and you can also delete those sessions. So only the one that you're currently using is the one that is still active. So this way we try to prevent when your account is being hacked and you change your password, that you can still delete all your sessions and you feel safe that no one can use it anymore. So the flow for two-factor authentication by app is simple, by scanning the QR code. When you do that with your app, you will see a code, you fill it in, and it's authenticated. And the same flow works when you want to disable it again. We also have the SMS two-factor authentication. You fill in your phone number. It will wait. It will try to send an SMS message first. And when it has done that, it will ask you again for the verification code that you will have received on your phone. And that you need to fill in correctly before you can activate it. And the same goes back when you want to disable it. So there's a button that you press on, you get an SMS code, you fill it in, and that way you can disable it as well. Then last, we have the backup codes. So your phone is broken, so you don't have your app. There's still always the way with backup codes. It's probably the last two-factor you want to support, but it's always good to have as well if you're feeling unsure about the app or the mobile phone. It's always good to have a backup when it fails. This way you can generate it. It will generate all the codes within the backend, and it will return it to you, so you can copy paste or you can download them as a file. And you can store it on a safe location so that no one else can access the codes. And again, you can regenerate new code because every code is only valid for one time. And when you want to disable it, you can just press the button and it will be disabled. So what means this for the Jamf School management system? It will mean that you will be redirected to Jamf School login URL. There you will need to log in, and it will send you back to the Jamf School management system. You can also not anymore simply add an admin. You now send an invite to the admin, and the admin will be able to accept it or not. And we also made some small fixes to optimize the experience. Especially when an admin is in multiple environments, it could be that the admin was deleted in the main environment and then suddenly you were not able to log in at all. Now we try to create yourself a new environment. So the next time you will be logged in a different environment. All these small little things that could nag some of the people before, we try to smooth things out within this project, so that we have a really good experience for all admins, even when you're a single environment, but also when you have multiple environments, and try to make it as smooth as possible. Here's a last screenshot about when you're invited. You now can see you can still log in, but you also have a way to register for a new account. And this way, you can fill in your password directly. You are asked for if you want to set up two-factor authentication, and the next time you're invited, or you would be added directly, or you get here and you can log in the same time. So that was the end of the presentation. A little bit recap. We try to enhance. Jamf Schools really cares about privacy and security. So we are still dependent on Apple to deliver us the right tools, but we also try to find ways to, for example, the ASM anonymization feature, to make it better for our end customers. So when you are bounded to laws by your country, you're still able to use Apple School Manager. The same that we try to encrypt the data that we store. We try to make sure that our servers are always running and that you can use Jamf School. And you can also see that Apple is delivering all these cool features. Like the last one they just released, what beta 6 was, that now in MDM, when iOS 14 rolls out, you can also say that don't create personalized advertisement. So you already see that from Jamf School, but also from Apple, we really care about the privacy, but also the security for our end customers and for our admins to make sure that they can deliver what the end customer expects them. Thank you for listening. If you have feedback, please complete the survey by using the widget below. Thank you very much.